welcome to my channel. If you haven't been here before, my name is Brittany. I am a homeschooling mom heading into my second year of homeschooling with my two kiddos. I have a rising first grader and also a preschooler. And if you have been here before, then welcome back. Thank you for stopping by today. So today's video is all about what planner I'm going to be using for our upcoming 2022-2023 school year. Before I get into my new planner, just as a point of reference, I want to show you guys the planner that I used this past year. So this is, you probably seen it a ton across social media, and also if you search for it on Amazon, just searching for like homeschool planners, this one's gonna pop up. But I had a simple plan for the homeschooling family planner, and this was the dated one. So this one was for 2021, 2022. They have undated ones that you can purchase where you just fill in the calendar for whatever year you're using it. But I got this one. It was like $30 when I purchased it, and it worked. You know, I am really into paper planners. My husband hates it because he's like all the way on the technology side. He puts everything on like Google Calendar and has all these apps. And I'm like, no, I love pen and paper. And it also helps me remember what it is that I need to remember because mom brain is real. So I am really into planners, and this one served its purpose. It didn't really get me excited like some of my other planners do that I use for other things, but I'll tell you a couple of things that I did like about it. One of the things that I really liked was, trying to get some of the papers out, that it had folders or pockets in the front and in the back. And I am someone who I like to print out materials, or at least I try to, before we actually use them. And so it was really convenient to keep, you know, the worksheets or like the reference guides that I was going to be using for our lessons that day with the planner, so I had it all together. So I really like that. Other than that, I mean, it had plenty of room to write notes. I did like the yearly overview pages that it had in it, because I don't plan my entire year in depth, like on this page, on this day we're gonna read this, or on this day we're gonna read that. I like to have kind of a general overview, like in October we're gonna cover the human body, and then maybe a week or two before we actually get to that month, I'll start planning things out more in depth. So I really like that it had the overview pages because that worked for my planning style. The thing that I didn't like about it is that it was so big. I like to take my planner with me like when my kids are in therapy or they're in a class, and I can like work on some things, and this thing was just really big for me to carry around. Also, I got a little frustrated with the spiral on it. It didn't stay in, and I had to like keep adjusting it, and it could have just been like normal wear and tear because I was using it a ton. So I don't want to say that that's necessarily on the manufacturer, but that was a point of frustration for me. So the only other thing is, I think if you have a lot of children, then this planner is great for you because it gives like a ton of room. And I'll just hold up this page so you can see on the inside, this is like one of the weeks, and I ended up using the areas on the sides for subjects, but a lot of people use those areas on the side, and each row is for a child. So I can see how it would be helpful if you're doing multiple children. So long story short, it was okay. There were some good things. There were some things I didn't like so much. But the bottom line for me heading into this next year was that this one, including the undated one, were like $30. And I just couldn't justify spending $30 on a planner that I wasn't absolutely in love with. And I went on Amazon. I even looked at like Office Depot. I tried looking at Michael's because, you know, they have the happy planners, but I couldn't really find one that I was in love with. I even played around with the idea of making my own, but I didn't have time for that. And really just didn't have the energy. Maybe I'll do that next year, because I know there are some things that I really want in a planner that I just can't find right now. But that's something that I'll have to tackle next summer. What I did end up finding was this planner. The front of it's called Homeschool Mama, and it's made, I apologize, by Emmeline Bloom. This is the symbol that's on the back here. And I will link the Amazon product at the bottom of the video so that you guys can see it. But I found this one and it was $10. So I wasn't spending a ton of money, and it seemed to have most of the stuff in it that I would want. So I'll let you guys look in it. I'm gonna adjust my camera and get it closer so that you all can see it. But this one was 10 bucks. It is a dated planner, so it's 2022 to 2023. This did not come with a spiral. So what I ended up doing, I wasn't sure that I was gonna get it with a spiral put in, but I used the planner a lot, and so I wanted, it's just easier to write sometimes when you got the lay flat pages. So I took it to my local Office Depot, and they cut it and put the spiral in. I want to say it took them like 2 hours, so I just dropped it off and came back, and it was $6. So total I paid $16 and some change with tax for my new planner, and that's half of what I paid last year. I'm not immensely in love with this planner either, but it has what I need. It came at a price that I was comfortable with, and next year when I have some more time and more bandwidth, then I can, you know, maybe make my own or do some more research. But this is going to serve us for the upcoming school year. So I'm going to adjust my camera, let you guys take a look inside, and hopefully you might find that it's helpful for your homeschool as well. Okay guys, let's get into this planner. So once you flip open the cover page, you have kind of a title page here with information in case you have customer service questions, and also the dates that this planner runs through. So this is a July to June 2022 to 2023 planner. On the first page, you see that there's a section for homeschool requirements. So if you're in a state where you need to keep track of some things from homeschool laws, then this would be a great place to keep that. North Carolina is very homeschool friendly, so I don't have a ton to put here, so I don't think I'll be using that a whole lot. On the next page, there's a goals section. Now, I primarily use OneNote to keep track of like goals and progress on goals for the kids. I think I'll use this section for my own goals as mommy / teacher. So it gives you like a nice little breakout, and I thought this was funny, like reward. I don't know, I guess I'll reward myself with like chocolate or a massage or something. But this will probably be for me since I keep all the kids' stuff in OneNote. Then we have a year at a glance, just shows you all of 2022, 2023. I like that there were holidays included, because one of the things I'm doing with my son and daughter next year is we're going to be doing a lot of work on holidays, and we'll be celebrating them, learning more about them as part of our Around the World curriculum. So this was handy to have. Now on the next page, we have important dates. So one of the things I mentioned earlier was that I really liked in the Simple Plan planner that they had kind of a way for you to plan your year out by month. Now this planner doesn't have that, but it does have the important date section. So this is what I'm going to use to do kind of rough planning for the year. So I'm just going to take these columns and I'm going to jot down loosely what we're going to cover each of those months. And then this is where I'll just keep referring back as we get closer to the actual months to do more detailed planning. The next section is student information. Again, I don't know how much I'm going to use this just because I do use OneNote, but it has an area for you to write like strengths, areas to improve. Maybe I'll use this as kind of just to take notes about what's going on with the kids that I don't want to necessarily write into OneNote. But then again, this could just be scratch paper for me to just write down some thoughts. There's a curriculum and resources page. I didn't use that in the last book, and I don't think I'm really going to use it here because we just use so much stuff. It's like so random, and if I were to write everything down that we use, it would just take way too much time. So maybe if I'm thinking about purchasing something, I'll put it in here just to kind of keep track of it. I don't think I'm going to use this as a record of, you know, what I did buy, but rather just to keep track of things I may be interested in to buy. The next couple of pages are about schedules. We don't really use a schedule. Maybe I could use it for like extracurricular activities. You know, I don't really know what I'm gonna do with this because again, my kids don't really use schedules. Like we don't do things within a certain amount of time. We just kind of let our day flow and see what happens. The master schedule may be useful because we do try to keep a rhythm, but again, it fluctuates. So I don't really know how I'm going to use these pages. We'll see. There's an attendance tracker. Probably not going to use that just because I put it in OneNote. It's easier. There's a grade tracker. I don't give grades, but I could use it just to kind of keep notes of how like my son in particular is doing with certain things because he does have math tests throughout some of like his worksheets or not worksheets but workbooks, like in the Evan Moore math workbooks that we use. They do have assessments, and so I could keep track of it there, but I honestly don't know how much I'm going to use that. Probably more scratch paper. The event tracker is helpful. I honestly wish instead of all these grade pages, this was all for events and like outings and field trips. And I don't know, maybe there's a way I can finagle it so that I'm able to use the grade trackers as outings because this would actually be more helpful to us than the grades. There's a notes page. I was excited about this. So there's a reading log section, and I think I'm going to use this as books that my son reads, not just the books we read in general, because there are only 100 slots here. So we'll probably use this for the books that he reads during the year to keep track of that. There's pages for contacts. Any activities and organizations your child may be a part of. I thought this was neat. Website logins. So we actually do have quite a number of subscriptions to things, and I don't always remember the username and password for those. I know technically for safety you're not supposed to write those down, but I don't think anybody's trying to hack into my education.com login. So I think I'll use this to keep track of things. Another notes page, and then we get into the actual planner part. So you guys can see our first day of our new school year is going to be July 25th. And so this is just your monthly overview. It has top priorities here at the top, which I really like because it helps me stay focused. Some notes. You can see the next month coming up. You have lots of space to write down like big picture, what's happening that month. And then they do have some quotes. Together they created a school they loved. That was one nice thing about the simple plan is it had like a lot of quotes and Bible verses. But this one, not really the same way. I think the only way or the only location where they have quotes is like on the overview. And then this is your week by week. So again, you have sections over here where you can put the subject, which is what I was using it for in the simple plan. But if you did want to use this planner and you have multiple children, you could still put the kids' names over here and then fill it out. There's a reminder section, there's some notes, and then I did like that they showed like Saturday and Sunday. I don't think the simple plan one did that, but I like that they had spaces for Saturday and Sunday in case we had something else going on. So all the weekly pages are basically the same. I'm gonna flip to the back really quick. And so once you get past that last week, you have some more notes pages, which I need because I'm always jotting ideas down. And then there's a year in review page, which I really like. So most memorable moments, notable kid quotes, goals conquered, things I'll miss, new skills I learned, greatest achievement, and a quote. I think I'll use this with the kids because I think this would be a really nice exercise for us to go through at the end of the year and really put their voices into it and document it. So I thought this was a nice touch, and I think that'll be a great activity for us. And then the last page is like, I guess, a stress coloring page. I don't know, that's probably what I'll use it for. And then that's it. So that is the planner that I'm going to be using for our school year next year. I hope that you found it helpful. Again, I will link it down below this video so that if you want to take a look at it on Amazon, then you can. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to write in the comments or DM me on Instagram. You can find me at SalterSide123, and you can also catch up on the things that we're doing on a daily basis. Thank you so much for watching my video today. Until next time.